сносит от проблем. Я не хочу быть с ней, это какой-то пиздец. Опять в моей голове, не посещай мои сны. Прошу тебя, уйди из моей памяти. Я останусь здесь один. Крышу сносит от проблем. Я не хочу быть с ней, это какой-то пиздец. Опять в моей голове, не посещай мои сны. Прошу тебя, уйди из моей памяти. Я останусь здесь один. Крышу сносит от проблем.
Hello. God damn, I need a break from this. Welcome. No matter what happens, just remember one thing. And that thing is to not click like or subscribe button. Do not click that. No matter what happens. There's been a fire in LA last 3 days, and I feel kind of, bad, and it was a big event. It happened a few days ago, and a lot of people have experienced horrors and problems all around. Someone has lost their home. Someone has lost their loved ones. And I can kind of relate to that because I had my own problem. And I had to protect my soup. For 3 days, I made this soup with chicken, some angel hair, pasta, tomatoes, and something else in there. And then they shut off the electricity because of the winds, and I had to battle the spoilage of my chicken soup. And I went online and I had to research how do I keep my soup alive, and it was a battle. It was my own battle. It was a struggle. I had to boil the soup for 7 minutes every 3 hours. I had to make sure that the bacteria in the soup will not grow. And so past 3 days where everything was burning, there's no Pacific Palisades anymore, I was protecting my soup with all my heart and knowledge that I have. So I hope somebody can relate to that, as it's not easy. It's not easy these days. I live in LA, and I have to tell you that I met a lot of celebrities. I've seen a lot of celebrities, but I also met a lot of celebrities. I have maybe met more celebrities than I have friends. And that kind of, I start asking myself a question. Is there just too many celebrities in LA? Have I met too many celebrities in LA? Or do I just have very few friends? You tell me. You tell me. Something feels wrong about that. But that's kind of LA life. That's kind of what LA is and has always been, where you don't have many friends, but you meet a lot of celebrities, and you maybe wish they were your friends, but then you kind of meet them and talk to them, and you kind of realize that it's just better to have friends than to have friends, celebrities, or even know them. It's better to just have few friends than ever seeing a celebrity. That is my observation in the last few years living in Los Angeles. And now, expanding on the idea of celebrities, I have another question. Has Johnny Depp's daughter ever been in a movie? Has Johnny Depp's daughter, I don't know her name, Lily or Emma or Rose's daughter, the Johnny Depp's daughter, has she ever been in a movie where she is not some sort of whore? Has she ever played a part in movie or any kind of media where she's not some sort of whore? That is something that I really want to know, because I don't have time or interest to look that up. But that's the real question that has emerged when I was watching this movie at the EMC theaters called not Frankenstein, but something similar. Nosferatu. I liked that movie. It was very cinematic, very atmospheric. The plot was nonsense. The plot was non-existent, but that's not important today because plot doesn't matter today. It was a very beautiful movie. It was beautiful sounds, and it was just like a good experience overall to watch that movie. And I was hoping there would be some kind of a interesting tale or like a fantasy story, but in the end, there was this Johnny Depp's daughter who looks exactly like Keira Knightley. If anybody remembers who that person was, she just wants to be Keira Knightley, which is fine. You have to copy to succeed. You have to copy to develop. You have to copy to create. I accept that. So she was this Keira Knightley girl, and then it turned out she was a whore. I thought it was, this movie is about like I think 19th century England, I think, or Germany or something like that. And I thought it was going to be like a standard, like a fairy tale. And then for some reason, Johnny Depp's daughter was a whore, and she was like having an affair with this monster, Nosferatu, which is like 1,000-year-old vampire lord, some sort of lord of darkness. And for some reason, they decided that in this beautiful cinematic tale, fantasy story, they need to have a Johnny Depp's daughter. They need to have Johnny Depp's daughter be a whore to this devil lord. I think it's totally out of place. I understand that they need to have this kind of a modern version of a female where she cannot just be like a straightforward thinking or like protective of her family. She needs to follow some kind of bad guy character. In this instance, it was a devil lord, and she needs to be, she's just not like talking to him or in a relationship. She's straight up in a romantic relationship, and she has a husband. I don't know why they decided that, but that's maybe because of Johnny Depp's daughter. Maybe she just enjoys playing some sort of whore in one way or another. And it was not even that the dad lord, the evil lord, has kind of convinced her with his supernatural powers to like be his lover. In the movie, it's said that one time she kind of begged the devil lord to kind of pleasure her. And another time, the Johnny Depp's daughter was playing this LA girl, like LA creative girl, which is basically herself. And then movie, it was with The Weeknd, something called on HBO. I'm not sure, but I didn't watch it. But from what I got from like the few minutes of like watching that, she was like also some kind of whore to like this producer, and so she was playing that. It's very passionate, easygoing girl. And they shot that. It was a terrible show. They shot that somewhere in the Weeknd's house. They're just like, hey, you be a whore, and this is a weekend, and you guys just kind of have fun. You're both rich, you're both like celebrities or whatnot, so you just kind of have fun, and let's make it a show. And that didn't work. So the question stays: has the Johnny Depp's daughter ever been in a movie or any other project where she's not playing some sort of whore? Or if she hasn't yet, I would like to know if she's planning. If she's planning in her acting career to portray somebody except somebody else than some sort of whore. That That was my main question for today. And on the other note, when I'm thinking about these people, I wonder, why do anybody, including you probably, why do you care? Why does anybody care about celebrities? Why does it matter? I understand appreciating art and music or acting, except when Johny Depp's daughter is playing some sort of horror. Other than that, there's a lot of artistic people who, keep the entertainment business running. I understand that, and we should all appreciate that because artists are good. Except celebrities are not artists. Except celebrities are not. They're as far from artists as I am from a cook. As far I'm from a cook. And these celebrities are not really artists. They're just kind of toys, like a toy that rich people create, like a Muppet, like a puppet. And they're just kind of portraying them around, and people are going insane. Oh my God, this is her or him. This is not him or her. They're just like kind of toys, like puppet. They're rich people like portray, like this is my puppet. This is my puppet. It's sort of like a Pinocchio. It's sort of like, I'm a real boy. But celebrities, they're not even doing that. They're just straight on puppets. They're not even trying to become a boy like a Pinocchio would and wanted. They're just rich people puppets. And for some reason, you people think that that's interesting. Think that that's interesting, whether Sabrina Carpenter is eating at Sweetgreens or is she like prefers Fatburger. You people think that's important. And rich people are just kind of having fun. It's like horse races to them. Do you understand? Celebrities are like horses, like a fast horses for them. And they're just portraying them to you, and you think they're real people, and you like follow them, and you like, oh my God, they're not even a Pinocchio level toys. They're more like when I was a kid, I had a Bionicle set toys, and that's like that. You just kind of play with them. Except in this case, you people think that celebrities have any kind of importance outside their work. Okay. And you know why you care so much about celebrities? It's because you're poor. And I have a bad news for you. If you're poor right now, it is very likely that you will stay poor. And your kids will also stay poor. And I want you to understand, it's not because you lack some sort of talent or that you're in some way worse than people who are not poor. You're not. We're all basically the same. It's just that rich people have kind of gathered everything a little bit earlier. Maybe your parent didn't have a chance, or they were doing something else, but these people were just like hoarding things. And now they're just rich. And you're poor, and that's why you care about celebrities. And because you do, you will stay poor 100%. But if you don't, you will also stay poor. Because the door has kind of closed. The door has kind of closed in American society from somewhere, I'm not sure when exactly, because I wasn't here. But the door has closed somewhere between 1960 and 1984. 1984. Somewhere in those years, the door to kind of have some sort of, excuse my language, upward mobility. You have to excuse my language, some kind of upward mobility in the United States has kind of ended somewhere between 1960 and 1984. The door has closed. And so maybe, you know what, maybe at the end of the day, maybe you should care about celebrities, because that's like the only thing that you have left. You have left. And I hate that. You understand? I hate that. I hate that there's unequal society in this country. Not just because I'm not from here, and I'm from somewhere where inequality is much more rampant, but that's fine. I'm not there anymore. I'm here with you guys. But what you seem to not understand, and what I do understand, because I've seen what extreme inequality looks like, you guys seem to not understand how bad that is. And I hate it. I hate you for it. I hate the thing for it. Not because of what you do, but because of what you care about. Okay? Sabrina Carpenter collaborating with Tate McRae should not be a priority in your life. Did you get that straight? Sabrina Carpenter's sneaker deal and Tate McRae clothing line should not matter to you a single bit. I hate economic inequality for very few reasons. Okay? And that's not because I care about you being rich. I truly don't care about your life. You do whatever you want. You go root for Dodgers game or whatever you're rooting for. Go do that. I don't care. Go jump off a tall mountain into a water. Go plunge into the ocean. I don't care. Do whatever you want. What I don't like about economic inequality is not because you cannot buy a Mercedes. I'm okay with you not having a car at all. I don't care about your money. What I don't like about economic inequality is that creates a lot of poor people. And poor people are very dull to talk to. Poor people are extremely boring and uninteresting to have a conversation with. And I hate economic inequality because it creates a lot of poor people around me, and then I have to talk to them. I have to talk to you guys. And so I need to reverse the economic inequality, the wealth gap in the United States, not because I care about your well-being, but because I care about mine. And I want you all to be at least somewhat economically stable so that I can talk to you and I can have fun. Because it's not fun when everybody's poor and then I have to absorb that. I have to absorb poor people. So my hatred for economic inequality is kind of selfish, but it's still legitimate. But on the lighter note, there's still kind of hope. There's still a little bit of hope left. And I feel like there's going to be an uprising of gig workers. There's going to be an uprising for gig workers because these guys are just squeezing them down. And gig workers in 2019 or 2020, they used to work for, if they hustled, they would work for $20 to $35 an hour, which is not bad. It's not a good job, but at least it paid well above average. And now these companies, they just squeezing these poor people down to like $6 to $8 an hour with gas and like all of that these people do. And so the gig workers are kind of a poverty class. They're full-time workers, but they're like poverty class because they're working like somewhere below minimum wage. And there's going to be an uprising. And they're going to let them have some money because in this country, in today's society, in this day and age, capitalism needs consumers. And so because now everybody works for Uber. Everyone works for Uber now. Like 80% of population in the United States work for like some sort of gig work. And they're all making like $6 an hour because there's so many of them and there's no other jobs, especially in California. They can't spend money. And the people who are not paying them money will kind of realize that and they will kind of give them some money because they still need to buy stuff from those people. So there's some hope. You'll not be poor. You'll still be poor until the rest of your life. Of course you will. But at least you will have some more money so that you can buy some stuff from them so they can keep growing their wealth. And you can just kind of hang out. You can just kind of hang out around cities, around, restaurants, just kind of look at how people live. You will be able to do that. So there's hope. The main reason why the wealth gap is growing in the United States Look that up. I'm not gonna pull up a graph. It's not my job. I'm just saying things, okay? I'm just saying things. And you, if you want to listen to me, you have to trust me. Or if you don't trust me, like, go do your research. I don't care. I'm just kind of saying things. And so the wealth gap in the last 10 years have dramatically increased in the United States. And the biggest reason for that is because you people let them. Because we in Ukraine, I'm from Ukraine, and in Ukraine we have let these oligarchic class to emerge. They didn't do it by themselves. There's too few of them. So we let them. So then the economic inequality is immense. I think it's even more than in the United States, even though that's arguable. But the thing is, you have let these people create wealth gap and you're still letting them. So I want you to know that that's on you. And you think that the problem, or they make you think that the problem is some kind of culture war, like people on the right, whatever that means, say it's all people on the left with their crazy ideas, and people on the left, whatever that means, say it's all about people on the right. And that's exactly where they need you to be. That is exactly where people who have something need you to be. Because I don't know how you guys did not realize it. Do you really need me coming here from Ukraine to like explain these basic things to you? But I will, because I'm a nice person. The real problem is not whatever people say on the right or whatever people say on the left. The problem is whatever people want at the top versus what we need at the bottom. Because at this point, there's no middle. At this point, there's just people at the top, probably like 0.1 to 1%, and there's 99 people, and they're all at the bottom in comparison to those people. And so if you think that it's about left-leaning, it's about like politics and like policies, you're out of your depth. You're out of your depth, and go find some kind of job, and don't think about these things because your ideas are just irrelevant at this point. The real problem why people struggle and will be struggling even more in this country is the divide between the top and the bottom, and not left and right. And the divide is happening because you guys are letting them. You guys are dumb enough to think that Sabrina Carpenter's new clothing line is more important than like Amazon unionization. You think that that's more important. So I don't appreciate you for it, and I hope you'll change your ways, even though change is hard. Change is hard. I myself see myself as a change. I talked about these things to anybody on the street. I talk about these things to homeless people, my neighbors, my family in Ukraine. They all know about problems of the United States because of me, because I'm changing things that way. But then I thought, what if I take this a step forward? What if I take it one step forward, and I will go be a special agent? Because there is a team in California, and more specifically in California Bureau of Investigation, there is a team, WTIC, that does white collar crime investigation, and I wanted to be a part of that team, so I can bust people who kind of take more than they have, who take more than they are supposed to. That's my idea of change. That's my idea of change. Not tweet something or not go be mad at somebody on TV, but go be a special agent at Bureau of Investigation. But that's me. Maybe that's too much for you. Anyways, I passed all my tests and I qualify for a special agent for white collar crime investigation team in California. But because I'm not a part of citizenship, I'm not a citizen of this country, they did not let me. I think California has lost their best chance to tackle inequality and all these economic problems, because I'm not a special agent at California Bureau of Investigations, but I will. I will become that one way or another. They will let me. They will let me. On a separate note, I hate a different thing. There's a lot of things that I hate. And this thing is something that's very close to my heart, and that's holiday cards. And so people should stop sending me or anybody holiday cards that go like, there's like somebody has sent me like a holiday card for winter, and it said like peace, joy, and love. And that was the card. There was something great written on the inside, but that's not the point. The point is the card, and it says peace, joy, love. And I didn't even read what was on the inside because I threw that away. Because that level of meaninglessness and vagueness is kind of insulting to me. That is kind of insulting to me. At that point, you can just send me a card that would just go wind, like water, electricity. Wind, water, electricity. Whatever the hell that means doesn't mean more than the card that you have sent me that says peace, joy, and love. So stop. Let's get a little bit more educated. Let's get a little bit more deliberate. Let's get deliberate in everything, including the holiday celebrations. This next segment is going to be about organic food, and it's going to concern women mostly, but everybody else can just tune in. So, the organic food that you see in the supermarket is kind of a little bit more expensive than regular tomatoes, potatoes, vegetables. As it says organic, and it's kind of more expensive because it's organic. But I have something to bring to you today that it's exactly the same food. It's exactly the same thing. Okay? And I feel bad for these women who want to be healthy and they buy these overpriced organic vegetables that are exactly the same thing. And because I grew up in Ukraine planting my own fucking potatoes and tomatoes, thanks to my grandfather, I know how to grow a garden and a vegetable field, and I've done a lot of it myself. I'm here today bringing you the news that organic food in U.S. supermarket is exactly the same chemical weaponry, has exactly the same chemical composition, treatment, and way of growing as regular food. So I would appreciate if you would stop paying for organic vegetables that are just some sort of plastic compound, because the real organic food is not that. Real organic food does not say organic on a sticker price in Vons. All right? Good. And I know that because I've spent a lot of time at Amazon Fresh. I go there to shop a lot. I go there to just have, at my free time, sometimes I go to Amazon Fresh. And one of the activities that I like to do is I just like to kind of annoy people at Amazon Fresh. The workers. Not the people, but I annoy the workers. But there's a special type of workers that I annoy at Amazon Fresh. And those are like the upper management that like goes around and they control the workers. And I kind of feel some kind of aversion to that. I don't like that. I don't like that Amazon Fresh upper management sometimes goes on the floor and they kind of check that everything is in order. So I just kind of look at them. I kind of look at them like this for a very long time, for a prolonged period of time. They might walk around the floor and check all the other regular Amazon workers. They can check all the other, or all the, the food and the stacks and all that. And I just kind of follow them around and I look at them until they ask me, can I help you or something? What do you want? Did you want something? And I just kind of look at them. I just kind of look at them like this to let them know that I don't appreciate that they help Amazon corporations control our lives in any way, even if it's a very small, meaningless ways, like they control other workers at Amazon. I just kind of like to remind them that it's we the people who decide who and when we can harass and control. Leave that to people. Leave the control and harassment to people and not to Amazon Corporation. Good night.